So if someone reaches out to you and they fill out a form on your website and maybe they don't hear anything from you until the next day, the first impression that they're going to get is that you don't respond to things very quickly. That initial moment of contact is an opportunity to delight your customer, right? You can immediately engage them and show them that you're on top of it. And that's not something that a lot of law firms can do without the help of technology. So that's just one example, but every step of the journey is an opportunity to delight your customer with, customer service, not law. Forget about law right now. We're just talking about providing good bedside manner, good customer service. You could be the best lawyer in the world, but if you provide bad customer service, you're going to have a failing law firm. And the vice versa is true. You could be a mediocre or even a bad lawyer, but you could provide really, really excellent customer service and you could be wildly successful. The outcome of the legal matter is not always the most important part of that relationship. I am the founder and CEO of Lawmatics. Long story short, I had a problem at my law firm that I wanted to solve with technology. We built Lawmatics to really address the business needs of a law firm and not as much of the practice management needs, right? The practicing of law. We felt like that was pretty well taken care of. Our goal was to focus on the business side of it, the lead management, the marketing, the automation, that sort of thing. Lawmatics is really for everyone and anyone. We see it all across the spectrum. Sometimes brand new firms that are just trying to set up their tech stack and Lawmatics is the foundation of it, or law firms with several hundred lawyers who have been around for a long time, but they need to update their tech stack and they see a lot of value in it.
You say that you saw some problems that you thought could be solved while you were a practicing defense attorney. So what exactly were you looking for that wasn't available?
So when I started my first law firm, I got a state bar complaint pretty much right away. And it had nothing to do with the way I practiced. It was nothing to do with the outcome of the case. It was simply, hey, you didn't call me back quick enough. And this is like the most common complaint at every state bar still, even 12 years later, is attorney-client communication. And so I thought to myself that there has to be a better way to communicate. Like calling me on the phone when I'm in court all day, every day, that cannot be the answer. And so I sought to develop a client communication portal. And that is what my case started as. Lawmatics really came about from what I observed talking to thousands and thousands of law firms in my time at my case. Lawyers were starting to think about their law firm as a business and not just the practice of law. And when I saw that, it's like these people, if they have that mindset shift, they are going to experience some challenges with how to do that. Right? If they're going to start doing marketing, if they don't have a way to measure those marketing efforts, they're going to be met with challenges. If they don't have the ability to automate, touch points, right? Nurture campaigns, newsletters, like all the different things that are kind of marketing 101. If they don't have that infrastructure in place, they're going to be met with a lot of challenges. We anticipated that happening, and that's sort of the problem that we looked to solve with Lawmatics.
So what can law firms do from a marketing and client intake perspective?
It's about the client journey, right? And we break that journey down into 3 phases. Phase 1 is the intake phase, which is from the moment that they reach out to your law firm by whatever means, all the way through to the point where they sign that fee agreement and they pay you your retainer. Then you have phase 2, which is an active case. You're actually handling a case for them. That has a definitive start and an end time. And then phase 3 is after the case is over. Now they are a former client. That is a very important part of the relationship.
That's something that I never would have thought about, but that makes sense that as a lawyer, of course, obviously you want to win your case for your client, but you really want them to feel cared for and respected and like they can get in contact with you. And yeah, that is a lot of work to keep that going, especially because being a lawyer and running a law firm is so much work.
This is what you need to remember. And if you remember this, I think it gives you a different lens to look through. Almost all practice areas, right? Almost all of them fit into this mold where it is the most important thing happening in their life. If it's a criminal defense case, if it's a personal injury case, if it's a bankruptcy case, if it's a family law case, immigration, all these practice areas, like the vast majority of practice areas out there, the case that you are handling for your client, it is the most important thing that they have going on in their life. For you, it's just another client, right? And so sometimes it's hard to have that perspective. But if you think about it like that, if you think, hey, wait a second, this is the most important thing happening in their life. If I had the most important thing happening in my life right now, how would I want to be treated? If you shift to that line of thinking, I guarantee you, you will provide incredible customer service, and that's going to benefit your firm.